Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
I am so excited to have you. So, we are doing business spotlights. And for those of you that are watching, I am Tiffany Hicks, the CEO of VRE Training Solutions. And I have been doing interviews of our success partners, which has been really important to me. So, one of the things I tell people is that if you are navigating through the business world and your goal is to evolve or to grow or to scale, you are not going to be able to do that by yourself. You will need some people on your team that are experienced and experts in what it is that they do. And then also you need some people to cheer for you. And so I have found the most amazing group of people who not only are experts, but they are also really, really good, darn good cheerleaders. So I'm interviewing one of those today in our business spotlight. And we are just going to absolutely just jump in because the way I jump in is totally unlike other people's jump in. All right. So let's get started. First thing I want to ask you is, when did you start doing what you do?
I started running my marketing agency or the agency about 4 years in digital marketing, the last 6.
Okay. That's really good. Exciting. All right. So why do you do what you do?
The digital marketing aspect, I think I started it, to be honest, I started it because that's where the world was going. It was digital marketing, so let's do it. But the reason I do it now is I found that it really helps business owners. I never noticed or paid attention to how much tech savvy, more tech, not more tech savvy, let me see, how much more tech savvy I am than the average person. I think a lot of times we don't realize that within ourselves. So the reason I do it now is to essentially help business owners get their message out online, grow their brand, grow it bigger, grow it stronger.
I received that. So my next question is, I'd love for you to tell us who you are and what you do and give us your passion pitch.
My passion pitch. So my passion pitch, what you mean?
So by passion pitch, I mean, so now we know how long you've done it and we know why you do it, right? So normally when you start an interview, people will ask you who you are and what you do. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to set a precedence, right? I want people to know you're not new in the game. You've been doing it for a minute. And I also want people to know why you do it, because again, people don't care about what you do until they know why you're doing it, right? So that's why I started with those two questions. So now I want to go to the thing that people would normally ask you first, right? That is, what is your passion pitch? So who are you? What is your business and what do you do?
Oh, now you're ready for that. Okay, so hey, what's going down? My name is John Allen. I run a digital marketing agency where we help community-driven and social impact businesses grow their digital footprint. We do this through digital marketing. So think website designs, content strategy, social media marketing, any marketing that you're doing, but digitally. We love working as your in-house marketing team. So we're able to do everything in-house. So you don't got to go outsource something to Fiverr, something to this person, or something to this person. You can come to us and we're able to handle the whole campaign. That's my pitch.
Awesome.
That's my pitch.
I love the pitch. So now I'm going to ask you to go a little bit deeper. Everyone has what they do and everyone has their why, but there's something that uniquely connects you to it, right? And what is that thing? So I'm digging for that thing that makes you want to be a business owner, that thing that makes you feel like, so why would I come to you? Like, what is it that your business does is different from, the sea of digital marketers that are out there?
We actually take into account the business owner themselves and their level of expertise in what they're doing. I think a lot of times with a lot of different companies, they do a cookie cutter routine or cookie cutter strategy for every single business. We come on and act in-house to where we're a part of your team. So we actually figure out what is your business model, learn your clients, learn yourself, learn why you're doing this. I think that plays a huge factor in our marketing. What makes us different is because we have a certain level of empathy and trust that we build from the front end. That way we're able to come in and handle everything that we need for you, and you trust us in order to do it. I think a lot of times people work with different agencies and they get burned by the agencies. They don't feel like the agency is doing the right job, or they feel like they're just getting ripped off or they're not seeing those results. So in order to kind of change that, we lead with empathy, trust, and understanding coming in. And that way, throughout the whole process, we found that you're more likely to trust our tactics, even if they might not make sense coming out the gate, or we were able to be more transparent in what it is that we're doing when it comes from a result standpoint. I think a lot of times they're overpromised results when it comes to marketing, and they're overpromised it to be fast. Because we're leading with empathy, trust, and really figuring out what it is that you need, it allows us to be honest in the type of results that we can actually produce in the time frame you're looking to produce them.
That leads me to the next question. So let's say I'm a business owner and I am looking for a digital marketer.
Right.
What kind of questions should I be asking if I'm interviewing a digital marketer? What should I want to know if I am putting myself in a situation where I want to go out there and I want to find someone to add them to my team because digital marketing is something that we've identified that we need? What kind of questions should I be asking?
Well, it's funny though, I've been making a lot of content around this. The first question you should ask is, what areas of digital marketing are you proficient in? A lot of times business owners don't realize digital marketing is multifaceted. So just because this person is a marketer and they know social media marketing, they might not know how to set up your website. They might not know how to send out emails, start drip campaigns, do ads. So the first question you want to ask is, what areas of marketing are you and your team proficient in? And then from there, that leads you to your next question, where if they're proficient in the areas that you need to be proficient in, what type of clients have you worked with and what have been their results? But when you ask that question, don't only ask it from a result standpoint as far as monetary. See if they're actually naming results when it comes to the awareness, the design. What were some of the changes besides bringing in any monetary value did they make? And the reason I say you want to know the ones that not necessarily might not be monetary is because a lot of times, and I mean this for lack of better terms, people can lie about the results that they got a client unless they have screenshots and all these type of things. But if you know, like, let's say they say, well, we went in, we recreated their website, redid their social media, created email marketing campaigns for them. Those are all tangible things that you can look at without having to see any screenshots, or you can't really be dishonest about that. Like if you ask somebody, hey, we worked on their social media, you can go to that particular company's social media. Hey, we worked on their website, we did X, Y, and Z. You can go to their website. You can subscribe to that company's email list and see what are the drip campaigns. So when you ask them, well, what were your results? Which is the second question, make sure you get tangible results that you can go investigate yourself, and you don't only have to depend on to see screenshots or something from them, because we're creatives. We can edit that. We're creatives. We can edit things like that. So look for results that are very tangible, that might not be attached necessarily to monetary, that you can see from the outside looking in. And then one of the last questions that I would ask them, what does their team look like, or what is it composed of? Because you might find somebody like me. I'm proficient in all areas of marketing, but I wouldn't take on a single project myself. So let's do this. If you're a smaller company, like you don't have employees or you're not really working with anybody, it might be okay for you to work with one marketer and they're able to do all your marketing. But if you're a medium-sized business, maybe you have 2 to 10 employees, then it would be a better deal for you if you actually work with somebody that might have a team, because then you need all different areas of marketing. So kind of recap, the first question I would ask would be, the second question I asked would be, are any results tangible? Look for tangible results. The first question I would ask is, what areas of marketing are you and your agency focused on, or where do you land in that arena? And the third question I would ask would be, ultimately, when it comes to your team, what is it made up and how many people on your team? And remember, if you're a small company, it's okay with one person, but the bigger your company is, the more marketers you would like them to have on their team, only because it'll make the job easier and the campaign runs smoother.
Thank you for that. That was a lot of really, really good information. I think that is something that anybody that is, watching this broadcast, that they'll be able to use, because I always tell people, when hiring an expert, only an expert could tell you what you should ask, right? Because, and that's like, so here's the thing. If you were hiring a trainer, I would know exactly what to tell you, what to look for in a trainer, right? Because I do it and I'm good at it, and you do what you do and you're good at it. So you could help people. And a lot of times I tell people that that's one of the things you should do. If you need something, find out what questions you should ask that person that are surrounding, number one, your vision, and two, the results that you desire to have, right? That's super important, because a lot of times a person could talk a good game, but like you said, you actually just gave them some tips on how to figure out how to overcome that, right? How to overcome someone selling you a bill of goods, and then you are being in this cycle. People say it all the time. I've had this person do this, or I've had this person do that, and it didn't work out. And it really might have just been the company that they hired. They actually just didn't have the capacity.
Right. Right.
Right. So that's a huge thing. So thank you so much for sharing that. All right. So here's that kind of leads us to the next question that I want to ask you, and it's surrounding team. So what are your thoughts on progressing personally and professionally, growing? Like what does your growth look like? So if you could give me a visualization, if I close my eyes and you gave me a visualization of how you plan to grow personally and professionally over the next 5 years, what does that look like for you and for your company?
Oh my gosh. So that's a really great question. First, a really good question. Personally, a lot of the same things I'm already doing, but I would say just maybe at a higher level. So steady educating myself. I'm always at a marketing event or engaged in the trends of what's going on, what's new. So just doing that, but at a higher level, maybe getting in bigger rooms, not bigger rooms as far as people, but bigger rooms as far as bigger marketers. So that definitely within that, I think from another personal level, really making more mistakes and figuring it out. I've been making a lot of mistakes lately when it comes to my team, and I get so frustrated, but luckily I have good people around me that are letting me know it's because you're going to be monitoring 500 people one day and you need to make these mistakes right now. So I would say definitely just making more mistakes and figuring out the right people I need on my team at the right time. I think that's a personal thing that I'm getting over, really knowing like, okay, I need somebody, kind of how I just told the business owners, I need somebody proficient in this area. You can know how to do this, but are you proficient in this area? So getting better at really getting an eye for, hey, this is the person I need because they know how to do this, 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 and this. So that's a personal level, just getting really, 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 really good at that. So I'm not wasting time or money on people. So that would be a personal. Professional, it's funny because I'm growing this agency, but the agency eventually is turning into a co-working space. So I'm right now I'm in the phases of creating it's a co-working content studio. So I don't like to use co-work space because people think WeWork, which is similar to WeWork, but except it's for digital creators. So you'll be able to come here, learn content, create content, and work alongside content creators. So essentially my marketing services and what I'm doing right now, this will also be a part of the membership. So you'll be able to be a member, you'll be able to come in and learn from me and other experts that are also in marketing, but you'll also be able to come work here and produce content. So we're not looking necessarily to build this really, really huge agency. We're looking to turn what we're doing into almost a brick and mortar membership and expand from like, let's start in Houston, then we might put one in Atlanta, LA, but just different hubs to where creators can go, create, learn, and produce content. So that's 5 years.
That's amazing. Like that I'm going to go with that, probably is right up there in my top 3 answers so far for a 5-year plan. And I didn't even have my eyes closed because I was watching you and how passionate you were about it, but I can imagine that had I closed my eyes, I could have actually seen that in vibrant color. So thank you very much for sharing that. All right, so this is a good lead into the next question. This one's going to dig a lot deeper. So I'd like to ask you, how would you like for the world to be different because you lived in it?
Oh man, that's a good question. I feel like, how would I like the world to be different because I lived in it? I don't think it's possible to be different the way I would like it to be different because I lived in it. Only because I would rather people, I'm very big on people minding their business. I always say the world would be a lot easier if people just like mind their business, you know. It'll be a very cool world, you know, if you really think about it. But because I lived in it, I would say, man, you know, a lot of what I'm doing, I think it's the older I'm getting, I'm really looking to like give back, especially to the next generation, and allow them to figure out that you can build something. Like I'm so amazed at what I do, because I'm like, oh my God, I'm building something, I'm doing something. So for the world to be different because I lived in it, that's so difficult for me. But I would say for just somebody that might be like they don't know what to do, they weren't interested in going to school and really feel like I don't know if I'm gonna be successful or where I'm gonna be successful at. I would feel like that would be my thing on why I want the world to be different. They can maybe find me and be a member of my co-working space, and we change the game because they become one of the top content creators in the world, because they were a part of a community of people that learned, groomed, and grew them into that. Like my dream is to have a whole bunch of mini content creators come through the studio and become really huge. And it's because of this studio taught them how to do that and become who they are. So that's how I want it to be different. Everybody walk around with cameras. Like that's my world and the difference. I was just kidding, but yeah.
I like that. Like I like it, and it's a unique answer, and it's unique to you. So you did mention something when you were talking. You were like, you know, you want to help the next generation, and so that easily navigates me into. Tell me your thoughts on legacy and succession.
Legacy and succession. By succession, you mean like just success, right?
No, so thank you for asking. So succession means who follows after you. So what happens with your business, you know, so businesses have lots of options on the end, right? At an expiry date, right? Or even if it doesn't. So you can, you know, you can always sell the business. The other thing is you can put some people into place that could take over the business. And I'll give you a little bit more context. So when I got a contract and I found out that the contract was 5 years with the option for 2 additional years, the first thing I started thinking is, what if something happens to me? And my thought process was, I still need my mama and my son to get some checks. So that really kicked me into, what do I need to be doing? Now, you might not think that on a day-to-day basis as you're out here as a business owner getting this client or that client, right? Maybe you don't think about that. But when you have a contract, you start thinking to yourself that I have to honor this contract for 5 years. What happens if something happens to me? Does that mean all the people that are my success partners on this contract stop eating? And that concerns me. So I said, okay, Tiffany, you have to do something about this. You've thought about succession. Your paperwork says who your successor is, but I'm gonna be honest, like my son doesn't want to run a training company. Right. So at the end of the day, what do I need to do? And I have lots of people that I know that wouldn't mind running a training company. And I also have lots of people that would honor a contract that I have that says, yes, you run it, but you're still running it under my business and checks still go here. Right. And you're still making a pathway for these success partners to get this money. And then now you have the deal that I had, right? So they get the percentage that I would have gotten, right? You get what I'm saying, or there would be a renegotiation point, which is so important that I talk through with my attorney, right? And then I'm also talking with my commercial insurance agent. So that's, in a nutshell, that is what succession is. And I know you're familiar with legacy. So now that we've had that, tell me, like, what have you considered as it relates to legacy, and what would you want to do with your business if you made a decision that you wanted to start, you know, sipping Mai Tais on the beach somewhere and you don't want to actively be in it? What are your thoughts on that?
You know, it's so funny because I don't necessarily think about that. Like you said, it's not something I think about. Of course, like every business owner, I'm thinking, oh man, you know, I'm gonna have these awesome kids and they're gonna take it, you know, but like you said, they might not. They might be like, yo, I'm good on that. So just thinking about it, the short answer, I would say, it would be hard for me, but I would sell it. But I would make them give me, like, I have to, if I'm selling my bit, I would be so hard for me. But I would probably sell it, to be honest, because I'm gonna have multiple spaces anyway. So I'll probably, it would be hard, but I think I would sell it. I would just, if nobody, I would rather sell it and it keep going and progress and doesn't change, rather than give it to someone or like that didn't really value it or wasn't really worried about it. So I feel like from a legacy standpoint, I'll sell it. Maybe we can go. I never really thought about this. Maybe I'll go public and have some shares or something, in it when it comes from the legacy part. But just the succession, I would sell it, sell ideas, sell but then it's like a real estate play too, because then I think about, well, that's also potentially, if I have multiple spaces, then I have real estate. So it's like, really, isn't that a part of your portfolio? So it's like, it's a hard question for me, but I think off the fly, I would say, yeah, gotta go. I'm selling it. But on the back end, I'll have to figure out some numbers to see how I can still be a part of it.
So I love that. I love that we dived into that, because there's also what if you're not here to sell it?
Oh man. Yeah.
Right. So then the question is, who benefits from you being a business owner? Who do you need to take care of when you're not here? And what does that look like? So I'm always talking to people about what's the play? Like,
Right.
what's the play when you're not here? So who is going to be missing out because you're no longer generating that revenue, right?
Right.
And then so, is that taken care of in your will? Right? Do you have key person insurance? Like, what's really happening? Because at the end of the day, there is so often that biopic businesses is dead in the water. Like, if the person that owns the business is incapacitated, or if they transition, that's it, right?
Yeah.
And if it is a money generator, why should it stop? Why
Right.
should your employees no longer get work? Why should your contractors no longer get work? So I look at it from a perspective of, we have a responsibility to plan that out, because it's great that if it works while we're here, but why not make it a legacy and succession piece of who we are?
Right.
Because, and I feel like we owe that to our communities, right? Whenever money is circulating and we are creating, an ecosystem that has currency, right, moving through it, it shouldn't stop moving through it because we're no longer here, because we have time to plan for that. Right. We have to prioritize that. So I'm excited that you allowed me to open up that conversation. So we are wrapping it up, and I have another question. So talk to me a little bit about any events or anything that you have going on that you want us to know about, and then tell me where we could find you if we wanted to know more about you.
Oh, definitely. Well, you can find me on all social platforms. I'm mainly on Instagram. It's Jah, JHA, period, ALLEN. You can just type in Jah Allen on social or anywhere, it'll pop up. Mostly Instagram. An event. I'm actually having an event. I think it's September 10th. It's called Marketing in a Recession. So it's me and 3 other people. We're going to be going over marketing, mindset, and what you need to prepare for as a business owner to market during the recession or times like this. So that's September 10th. And you can find out more about that on my Instagram as well. But I'm always doing different events and partnering with people around Houston. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll stay up to date on everything I got going.
Awesome. So the last thing that I'd like to ask you, like, if a business owner, let's say it's a new business owner, and that business owner wanted to ask you, or they asked you, what is the number one thing that you wished you knew before you became a business owner? The number one thing that you wish you knew. So you're using your hindsight. What advice would you give that business owner?
I would tell them, make sure you understand what it means to be a business owner. I think even myself, I used to pride myself so much on being a business, but it's like it takes a lot to build a successful company. I think sometimes, and especially nowadays, we don't realize that because we kind of are able to be online, see the video, see the content. So it looks a lot. It looks very glamorous, and some months for some people look really good, where you might see they screenshots of this, and this. But I would say just make sure you really evaluate what it takes to be a business owner. And that's hard because you really don't know what you don't know before you get into it. But I wouldn't just jump right into it. Like, if you can have a job, try to have a job and be a serious business owner at the same time. And then that way you'll really get a gist. Because I think sometimes people will have a job and they'll do business owner on the side. And it might look easier. It look real cool. You're like, oh, it's easy or whatever, because you don't realize that it only looked that easy because you technically still have a job, so you still have actual income coming in. So I would say, if I had to give you advice for a new business owner or somebody that's looking to get into business, try as hard as you can to work your job and be a serious business owner, and really evaluate if being a business owner is something you want to do, because it's a lot. It's hard work to build a really, I guess it depends. And I guess it too depends on how much you want to make or what your level of success is. But in order to just be making like even over 100,000 as a business owner by yourself and having all the systems and stuff, it's not as easy or as glamorous as a lot of people try to make it online. So really just figure out if it's something you want to do. Or what's better? Like you said earlier, ask somebody. Ask somebody that's in your field that's successful. What would they do? You ask them directly. So I can only tell you about marketing, but ask somebody directly that's in your field. Hey, what would be advice you would give me as a business owner? Should I do it? And kind of pick their brain. I think that'll be, but somebody's successful in it. Yeah.
And there you have it, y'all. Like, that is the truth. I will tell you, we'll end with being a business owner shows you yourself.
Facts.
It really will uncover, like, you will learn all the things about yourself. You will learn the good things about yourself. You will learn the bad things about yourself. You will learn, you will see yourself in a light that is so unlike anything else, because when you're in corporate America, someone determines your worth with a paycheck. When you have no one giving you a paycheck every Friday, you determine your worth. And let me tell you, when them checks are not coming in, like, you really can feel like, hold on a second, am I still valuable? And then you have to be your own cheerleader. Like, you literally, no matter what is going on in your business, you have to have a level of realism. You got to do all the things. You got to cheer for yourself. You got to be the person that keeps yourself grounded. Like, you literally have to maintain all of the things. And then at the same time, you got to get money, and then you got to build your team, right? So it's a lot of things to do. And I share with people, if you do not have any business acumen, go get you some. Like, go get it. Like, go get it. Because you can only get so far in business with your talent. And that sounds weird because we're like, but we're business owners. And of course but the thing is, you have to understand, a business owner cannot have an employee mindset. You can't, because it's going to damage you ultimately, right? And also, most business owners get into business to do a thing that they're passionate about, and then you find that that's not what you spend most of your time doing, right? You spend most of your time growing the business, which is what you should be doing. So for those of you out there, if you have not, I'm going to tell you, go get the E-Myth. I think the gentleman's name is Michael Gerber. I don't normally promote other people's stuff, but the E-Myth is like the best book, because it really tells you, it really talks to you about the myths that people have and what they believe when they step into the business space. And you really need to know that the truth of the matter is that you could be let's just say you're a photographer and you're running a photography business. The truth of the matter is, once you build a team, it's very rare that you actually going out and taking pictures of anybody. You busy over here managing the money, paying the bills, making sure you got business coming in, managing your employees, right? So there's a lot of things that you're doing, or going to conferences to make sure that you can bring in bigger amounts of business. There's lots of things to do, but yeah, so I thank you for bringing that up. That is a really that is so thought provoking for lots of people who may be starting a business. So I enjoy, and you know what, y'all, look, I'm gonna share with y'all, I'm gonna be accountable. I was not supposed to talk that long on that last part, but I just thought it was so important for everybody to know. So anyway, I am Tiffany Hicks, the CEO of VRE Training Solutions, and I am so excited that I had an opportunity to talk with Ja Allen today. And I thank you so much. What I share with people at the end of every broadcast, I really just tell them it's so important that whatever it is that you do, you just need to be intentional, right? Go out there, get what it is that you want, but you need to be very intentional about what you're going after and how you're going after it to go get it. So until the next time I talk to you all, bye.